Minnesota Vikings are currently $16 million over the 2022 salary cap, but of course, we know. So the Vikings will free up some cash to retain some of their own free agents as well as be players in free agency. We wanted to look at some of the estimated costs for some of these jabronis out there. Pro Football Focus did up a top 200 free agents as well as a very nice estimate of what their 2022 contracts could be. So we wanted to pick through a couple of the Vikings free agents as well as a couple of crushes in free agency, just window shopping, see how much it will cost to be the boss. So starting off with Anthony Barr, where I would take Anthony Barr back super cheap. You like the leadership and the transition to an odd front, him finally being a stand-up outside linebacker that rushes the passer. Yeah, I get it. So Anthony Barr, strength, size, and athleticism, one of the best pass rushing linebackers in the NFL. That's news to me. Few negative plays against the run. Okay. Weaknesses, blah, 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 blah. Inconsistent play, astute. So they're estimating his contract projection 2 years, $14.5 million. So $7.25 million per year. No. Now, if we're talking like 1 year, $6 million, I would be down to clown for that because the Vikings actually have to carry about $9.8 million dead against their cap because of the void years they added on his contract. Now, a new deal, even a short-term one, could alleviate some of that, but no. 2 years, $14.5 million. I ain't going past 1 year, and I really don't want to go past 7 per year. Next up. So we got Patrick Peterson, who last year came over on a 1 year, $8 million with $2 million in unlikely to be earned incentives. And I thought that he played well this year, even before and after he blew out his hamstring. But the Vikings moving to a different scheme. Would Ed Donatel and company still use him the way that Mike Zimmer smartly used him last year? Respect where it's due. Strengths, physicality, run defense, reading tendencies, route concepts, also leadership. I think he did good things for that cornerback room. Weaknesses, can't play slot anymore, lost his step and quickness. Other than that, it was really, really good. Then contract projection, 1 year, $6 million fully guaranteed. I would do it. Yeah, like 6 is right on the bubble for me. Like 7, too much. 4 would be ideal, but 6, I would do it. I would consider it. Next up for the Vikings in-house free agents, got Xavier Woods. So he came over from the Cowboys last year, 1 year minimal deal. And he played well. He was the only player on the Vikings defense who played every single snap, and he was fine. But also, it's not I'm not like champing at the bit to make him a priority to come back, especially with a new scheme coming in, and also with the rise of Cameron Bynum, who needs to start opposite of Harrison Smith. So I'm not breaking the bank for him, but projection 2 years, $10.5 million. Nah, pass. Next. Also, so they did a top 200 free agents, and for some reason, somehow, some way, Tyler Gronklin isn't among them. I don't understand that one. I mean, Dalton Schultz is probably going to set the tight end market, might even get the franchise tag, but whatever. And also, for some reason, Sheldon Richardson was listed as a Cleveland Brown. That's the disrespect that the Vikings just get. And Sheldon, respect. He played extremely well last year. He signed up after the Browns cut him to be a backup. He knew he was going to be a backup here behind Pierce and Tomlinson. Ended up playing a lot of defensive end when the Vikings had issues there, and he played relatively well. And his estimate is 1 year, $3 million fully guaranteed. I would bring him back at that, especially since the Vikings moving to an odd front. And as we outlined before, Sheldon made the Pro Bowl his second season in the league, 2014, with the Jets, playing 5 tech, which is 3-4 defensive end. He had 51 pressures, 8 sacks. So I would bring Sheldon Richardson back along that defensive line, even though there's a lot of talent, and the Vikings are extremely deep at the D-line, and that depth was certainly tested last year. Now, a couple of these other... So, I don't think the Vikings are going to be all in on the pie in the sky ffree agents, although Devonta Adams, who's not as good as Justin Jefferson. Hey, Adams, you want to come over and be a wide receiver 3 behind Jefferson and Thielen? Okay. Armstead, offensive tackle is one of the only positions that the Vikings are actually good to go at. Godwin, no. Von Miller, no. Even though, hey, Von Miller, given your connection to Ed Donatel, league minimum, 2-year deal. Maybe not. Chandler Jones, no. J.C. Jackson would be nice, but he's going to be a little bit out of our price range. Estimate 4 years, $72 million if the Patriots don't franchise tag him. So $18 million per year, probably not going to happen. Mike Williams, no. Marcus Williams, he of Minneapolis Miracle fame. Orlando Brown's a free agent again. Allen Robinson, no. Although Allen Robinson coming over from the Bears in a long progression of former Bears wide receivers coming to the Vikings that includes Bobby Wade, Bernard Berrien, Devin Aromashadu, Marcus Robinson. Just come on. We'll take Mooney. Darnell Mooney's a stud, man. Jesse Bates, no. Ryan Jensen. So Jensen would be interesting. He is a little bit longer in the tooth, but he still is one of the best centers in the National Football League. But the problem is 3 years, $39 million, $13 million per year. That's a little bit much. And now Brian Allen, we'll get to in a second. Actually, let's look at him right now. Brian Allen. Oh, I search Brain Allen, which is ironic. So Brian Allen, 67 on their list. And, of course, his experience with Wes Phillips as well as Kevin O'Connell makes a lot of sense. He'd be perfect with the scheme that they're going to bring over. Also, a contract projection, 3 years, $21.75 to $7.25 million per year. I would do that in a heartbeat. Like that. I would do it like that. Also looking at James Daniels. That's right. James Daniels, number 40 on the list. And he'd be perfect for what the Vikings want to do, too. He's very adept in outside zone. Iowa interior offensive lineman. Seems to always do great. Weaknesses, gap runs, and facing power. Yeah, of course. Of course. But he would fit in very nicely with what they want to do. It's not going to deviate too much from the previous scheme. But 5 years, $50 million, $10 million per year, I would do that. I would. And given the choice between Daniels and Brian Allen, it's close. I might go Daniels. The Brian Allen is an absolute stud. You can plug and play him at center. I do think the versatility of Daniels, can play guard and center, and is only 24. Yeah, I'll take James Daniels. But looking through a couple of these other ones, wanted to scan and enhance. Where were we? Whatever. Laken Tomlinson, he's going to be too spendy. Devondre Campbell, bringing him back home, especially even though, all right, so Devondre Campbell is a linebacker. Inside linebacker. Mike Smith was an outside linebacker. Of course, they've had some interaction in the building. Devondre Campbell, he's coming home, even though I think he's from Florida. But, of course, Gophers, great linebacker. $9 million per year. That's a little much. Gallup, no. Antonio Brown, no. Although, no. Weaknesses, history of behavioral issues, and age. Calais Campbell, Man. Just having some great leadership and stoutness on that defensive line would be great. How much are they projecting? 1 year, $8 million? That's a little bit much. Hassan Reddick, no. Dwayne Brown, no. Landry, nah. Cordero, 2 years, $12 million? I don't know, man. I mean, the Vikings are already set at, well, he was basically a running back last year. Let's be honest. So the Vikings are set at running back. They're already set at kick returner. So, I mean, no. Although it would be hilarious. Gronk, no. Darius Williams. Williams would be interesting. Actually, so Darius Williams coming over from the Rams. Obviously, the Viking staff has a lot of history with him. But 3 years, $13.33 million. I don't know about that. But he does get tested opposite of Jalen Ramsey, which is very interesting to see. That's why I'm very high on J.C. Jackson, because when Stephon Gilmore was Stephon Gilmore with the Patriots and they were avoiding him, J.C. Jackson was getting tested all the time, and Jackson was a stud. Right? So that's why I do believe in J.C. It's why I believe in Darius Williams. But I don't think the Vikings can essentially break the bank out there. Trevaris. All right, so I forget who it was. It might have been PFF or whatever, but they projected Trevaris Ward signing with the Vikings, and it would make a lot of sense, him coming over from the Chiefs. I like the way that he played in the playoffs, and they're projecting 3 years, $34.5 million. So 11.5. Yeah, I would do it. I would consider doing it. Yeah, also given his versatility on inside, outside, sure. DJ Reed, Hey, Teddy. Now, all right, so strengths, accuracy, and leadership. Weaknesses, lack of big-time throws, not careful enough with the football, possibly durability. Other than that, so if the Vikings do end up trading Kirk Cousins, I don't see it. I don't see it. Even though I'm going to be a Teddy supporter a long time. Like, if his leg didn't come off of his body, maybe things would be different. But even at $12 million per year, I don't know, man. Christian Kirk, no. What the hell happened to Christian Kirk? Like, he was going to be that dude. Loved him coming out of Texas A&M. Of course, Kellen Mond. I think they had a year crossover at College Station, but nah. DJ Chark, no. Although DJ Chark, given his history with Keenan McCardle, maybe. I mean, he's 6'4" and he runs a 4.3. Absolutely, but 13.3 million. I mean, he's not going to get Babytron money, but that's still a lot. Quandre Diggs, the safety, whatever. Austin Corbett is an interesting name. A lot. Same thing with Brian Allen. The connection there with Kevin O'Connell and company coming over from the Rams would be a perfect scheme fit. Can play guard right away. Also, he does have some tackle experience in college. Actually, well, he was a tackle. 4 years, $9.25 million per year. So would you rather Corbett at 9.25 or Daniels at 10? I'm pretty agnostic. I'm pretty go either way there. Derek Barnett. All right, so Derek Barnett, just bringing this full circle. When the Vikings traded for Sam Bradford, a first and conditional fourth, that first-round pick ended up being number 14 overall in 2017. The Eagles took Derek Barnett at 14 overall in 2017. And Derek Barnett was the dude who had the strip sack on Case Keenum when the Vikings were down, I believe it was 14-7. So it was still a game, and the Vikings were in the red zone, could have notched things up. And then Barnett just comes in like 2 tons of irony, strip sacks Case Keenum, Eagles get the ball, and then that's it. That's it. But Derek Barnett, no. And so the rest of these guys are sort of whatever. Yeah, Eric Fisher's out there. No. But that's it. Let's take a look at some. J-Ron. Now we're good at safety. I can't do it. But that's it. Let's take a look at some free agency contracts, some of the Vikings in-house guys, as well as some dudes the Vikings should be interested in. Actually, hell, let's look at the bottom. Why not? We have unlimited time. I was just having this conversation the other day. Are you guys old enough to remember when long distance cost extra? And it costs a lot, man. As well as I remember paying per text. God, I'm old. Yeah, bargain basement shopping. Malik Hooker. Dwight got a hooker. Yeah. Austin Reeder. All right, so Austin Reeder, a former starting center for the Chiefs before Creed Humphrey took over. They cut him. 1 year, $1.25 million. Weaknesses, gets blown off the ball in pass protection. I think we'll pass there. Austin Blythe, Austin Blythe was with the Rams, and then he signed a free agent deal with the Chiefs. Got supplanted. Nah. Let's see, Josh Bonds, McKissick, Ethan Posich. I have loved Postage forever. Loved him at LSU. Could play all 5 spots. Played a lot of center and guard for the Seahawks. 3 years, $12 million at $40 million per year. Sign me up. Sign me up. Even the fringe starting interior lineman. Please, son. But that's it. Take a look at some of these free agency costs to be the boss. Whatever. Let us know your thoughts on our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But until next time, Skull Production Value.